Hello and welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and tonight we have the most baffling attempt of the Montecito morons at becoming discount influencers. And I want to show you this letter shared by a boutique bike shop in California on their Instagram account. I understand that they sent Archie a bike for his birthday. The caption from the owner says, "We hope they don't mind us sharing this lovely thank you letter we received today." And the first thing that I noticed is that the thank you letter was written on June 6th. Wow, 1 month after Archie's birthday. I guess the Harkles had been busy scourging social media to see if they were still relevant before, during, and after the coronation. But what's more interesting is the letter itself. From the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sausages. Dear Martin and Jennifer, on behalf of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sausages, please accept their sincere thanks for the thoughtful gift you sent to Prince Archie for his 4th birthday. The bike has brought much joy and is most appreciated by the family. They ask that I convey their gratitude at the lovely surprise. Best, Harrison Colcourt, Office of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sausages. Man, this letter is barely 4 lines long and it has the titles of the Montecito morons 3 times. This gives the word and title a new meaning. And they couldn't even bother to include their signatures. I mean, how pretentious can you be? Not to mention that they say Prince Archie. And of course, the comments on that post were closed. Maybe the bike shop owners were expecting some negative feedback, but never underestimate the power of social media because people are going to leave their comment anywhere else and leave their comments they did. Looking for PR? Is that why you sent that kid a bike for his birthday? Can't his parents afford one? Imagine being fans of a narcissist and her ploy toy. Please, they are the joke of 2 countries. Please stop inflating the egos of those grifters. Do you give free bikes to all children or just the children of spoiled millionaires? And these people have a point. I'm beginning to believe this was some kind of under the table exchange. Because even if they had social media channels, I doubt they would be selling or pushing bikes. This sounds like a much better approach. I give you a free bike, you give us a thank you letter so we can brag about it on social media. I shouldn't apologize for being too skeptical, but it certainly doesn't help that the British owner of the business, talking to the Daily Mail, said that it was so thoughtful because, they took the time to write something personal and not just a generic thank you. What? You call that letter personal? I would like my British rogues to clear this up for me. Is this a British thing? Do you consider that letter a personal message? I haven't decided if this guy is Meghan's greatest fan or their greatest troll because the guy named his dog Meghan Markle. I am not making this up. But win-win situation, right? I'm sure that the thank you note came with an attachment with suggested best practices such as make sure that the comments on that post are closed. In fact, close the comments in all your posts for at least 3 months. Write a caption to make it seem like you are posting it spontaneously because otherwise it's not like they make everyone sign NDAs for everything. And non-negotiable is that you make sure to include the hashtag royal family so you can still, borrow from that centuries-old monarchy cloud. But sometimes you just have to flat out avoid that unjust, pesky, full of unconscious bias royal family. And that's exactly what Harry did as soon as his clown trial was finished. Royal family avoided as Prince Harry stayed at Frogmore Cottage before dashing back to California. Prince Harry was set to arrive back in California on Thursday night after staying in Frogmore Cottage without seeing his family, it has emerged. The Duke is not believed to have seen his father, the King, or his brother, the Prince of Wales, during his brief visit to the UK to give evidence for his high-court phone hacking case against Mirror Group newspapers. Well, maybe Harry wanted to go straight back to Montecito so he could go on bike riding with Archie. Sorry, I messed up with the slide. This is not Harry with Archie. This is Harry with Charles and William riding bikes, something that Harry used to claim never happened. By the way, we are still waiting for pictures of Harry and Archie riding bikes. But when it comes to the Monte Shit Show couple and rides, they have many more hours logged in private jets, and that brings us to that time when they caught a free ride in Elton John's plane so they could visit him in the French Riviera. And now we know, not only thanks to Spare but the clown trial, that this is when Harry absolutely came up with the idea by himself that he should sue MGN in the grounds of phone hacking. It was partially down to Elton and David. Harry wrote, "At the end of our recent visit, they introduced us to a barrister, an acquaintance of theirs, a lovely fellow who knew more about the phone hacking scandal than anyone I'd ever met. I don't know about you, but in my opinion, Harry's barrister, David Sherborne, has the face of a man who knew that a case like this was going to be winning the jackpot, regardless if he won the case or not. It is not that common that I agree with Camilla Tomini. Well, here we are. Prince Harry's paranoia reveals a man who has failed to cope with his fame. I have 3 takeaways from Camilla's article. First, that he is such a blockhead that he was unwilling to accept that some stories were published because the palace had briefed them publicly. Second, that he disagreed with the way the media portrayed him. But we are in luck. We already have a 6-part documentary and a lousy book to set the record straight. And which brings me to the third and most important takeaway. Harry seemed unhappy with his life and expressed a desire for a different path. And this is something that I have talked about a couple times. All the signals, whether it's body language or words or attitude, that Harry doesn't want any sort of public life, but somehow the public life he's got now is not much of an improvement over his former royal life. Quite the opposite. And you know that as a fan of cinema and books and anything in between, in my opinion, the best stories and anecdotes are already written in history. Because sometimes real life can be so absurd that if you try to pass it as fiction, people would say, that is not believable. That would never happen in real life. I think this is one of such cases. We got a real life headline about the Harkles that says, Prince Harry wants to end absolute intrusion and hate towards Meghan Markle and himself. Can you imagine? It means that we are witnessing South Park's episode unraveling in front of our very eyes. It's like all those Disney live-action remakes, but in this case, as we are talking about real live events, it's much more fun. And I'm sure this is not the last time the Harkles are going to defy the laws of common sense. My Royal Rogues, we are really close to 130,000 by this point, so all you have to do is hit the like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss any of my daily royal memes and news. 2 most important words, much love and bliss.